Do you have a pen by any chance?
Okay, so we're on top of page Samach Vov. Let's say 5 lines from the top, middle of the 5th line from the top.
Really? I thought we only got to the 3rd line.
What?
I thought we only got to the 4th line.
To
the middle of the 4th line. Avol.
Avol is the 5th line.
Avol is the 5th line? No. Wait.
Avol
is in the middle of the 4th line.
Read the next word after Avol.
Elu.
That's the 5th line. Oh, that's the 4th line. You're right. Right, and 4th line. Okay, in the middle of the 4th line. So what we came to is explaining the principle of neshikin. When I say neshikin, this is bringing out an inyan atzmi without being contained in keili. It's a direct flow from the Yetzer. And it says that this is similar to what was explained in the previous Maimon regarding the union of in the sechel, there is a union from chozer, as we discussed last night, and certainly in that Maimon. Yikova hamayim chozer. Chozer means that when the sechel comes to a so to speak to a dead end in a sense, it's a talmid who is not up to understanding the sechel from a sechel perspective. But then he still has the essential capacity, the essential human capacity for sechel. So then this brings out in the Rav a different clarity, a different depth in the sechel, but he addresses not the Talmid's sechel, but the Talmid's reality. This is what's called chozer, and that brings out a much deeper, much greater sechel, where normally sechel that comes through the sechel, through the faculty of sechel, even koyach hamaskil, this is only a ha'ora of the nefesh. Avol, and now we're going to go inside the 4th line. Avol elo ha'sichliyim, but these sichliyim that come as a result of oil chozer, hariboyim mikoyach ha'atzmi mamash. They come from the koyach ha'atzmi mamash, directly. What does that mean? Like we explained last night, that when the Rav sees that this Talmid does not have the sechel development to explain to him on a sechel level, but nevertheless he is, so to speak, a human being, and therefore, in essence, he is able to relate to this, not with his sechel, but as a human being. which means he's relating to the etzem. As a human being, you should be able to understand, not as a smart man. And this is where the Rav himself, brings the Rav himself to focus in and to recognize this sechel at a much higher level than what's called the yuli aspect of the sechel. This is what I said, that these sechlim come ho'atzmi mamash, directly, the lochein, and therefore, we're therefore nirgash bahem koyach ein soif ubli gu. In this sechlim is sensed a koyach ein soif, an unlimited koyach. Ubli gu. I don't know exactly what the allusion is in these two expressions, ein soif and bli gu. But essentially, bli gu means the koyach ein soif means that this is something which is unlimited, in the sense that it can face anything, and it can be transmitted, it can be recognized even without the koyach sechel, so to speak. And then bli gvul, and then it goes. There is no limit how far it can go, what you can explain with it, because there is a fundamental reality in this. The dugma is that the similar in the way this is reflected, lamayla. Shezehu hamshocha. It is that this is a hamshocha mibchinas asmus ein soy. This inyan is an hamshocha, is a drawing coming mibchinas asmus ein soy, from the asmus. It's called asmus ein soy, the essence of ein soy. Again, meaning it is not a reflection of any quality in elicits. It is the fundamental reality of elicits. This is, again, in our discussions, again, this is in allusion to the quote from the Rambam. There is a Motzurisha, a first being. Motzurisha, not that you have encountered it, not that you understand what it's about, but this Motzurisha, this is the etzem. This is an essential English. There is not a means by which you can explain how you got to know it. So the K'mishukosu b'Tere'er b'Habiyur Shom, as it explains in Tere'er, regarding this inyan of neshikin, the neshikin hein me'akudim. That neshikin are rooted from that madriga. It's called akudim. The hainu b'chinas ho'atzmus shelamaylo tohu v'tikkun, which means, which alludes to the atzmos shelamaylo tohu v'tikkun, because we said that this is elicited as a result of birur the tohu, birur is a tohu. In order to mevarer oires the tohu, you have to reach to that which is above the whole distinction between tohu and tikkun. So we're not going there at this point. The sheirish or rishon, this concept that you can go to a madriga, to a point, not just higher than the point that you're trying to affect, but the ma'ala mitohu v'tikkun, above the whole difference it's almost like saying, the Inyan of like we said, the Inyan from sechel and chozer. There is the sechel what can be understood, and the sechel what cannot be understood. Then there is that which is above understanding and not understanding. It's just the reality itself. And from there you get a keili, this keili of chozer. This is the similar in this phenomenon that you can go to a madrege that is above these two, completely above these two distinctions of tohu and tikkun. The similar inyan is this is something which is drawn from bechinas helam ha'atzmi, from the aspect of helam ha'atzmi, the essential helam. Perhaps we'll discuss this in a moment. Helam ha'atzmi, the essential helam, shalamayla mebechinas helam v'gilu, which is above the bechina, the aspect of helam v'gilu, of being concealed or revealed, of concealment and revelation, of bechinas pnimis v'chitzenis, and it is also above those aspects that distinguish between pnimius and chitzenis. So the inyan of helam v'gilu, that which is l'mayla and bebechinas helam v'gilu, above the whole phenomenon of helam v'gilu. Helam v'gilu is a pshat. There is something that is behelam, that is concealed. And then, from this concealment can be drawn something that represents what's in this helam. This is helam v'gilu. At our level, for example, the union of chokhmah and bina. Chokhmah is helam relative to bina, but it is a helam that allows for the bina to draw the sechel, the keili that it can draw from there. But in the chokhmah itself, it's completely behelam, because the chokhmah you recognize something that does not distinguish between all of these different details and elements. So it's helam v'gilu. So chokhmah is the helam, but then from this helam can come the gilu. The ma'ala of bechinas helam v'gilu, above the distinction between helam and gilu, means that this is also a helam, but this helam is not in the fact that it is malim something, it conceals something. It's above being understood. If you understand it, then you don't understand it, because it does not consist in being expressed. It is a reality on an essential level. Like we always say, that this is like, it is not possible not to exist, and then its existence is not an expression of existence. last night we have alluded to this illustration, which I think is very useful. That you have when you have a man lying in the gutter, drunk, and he says that he doesn't care, he doesn't want to get out of the gutter. He is comfortable, he is happy right with it. And we all understand that when he says that he is happy where he is really not telling the truth. What is it that we recognize in him that he's not telling the truth? But he is comfortable. He doesn't want to be bothered. He wants to stay where he is. This is something that we're recognizing, that there is an essential reality in this person. That essential reality does not depend on whether you recognize it or not. Even if he denies it, it is there. As a matter of fact, when he denies it also as a human being. This is
What does that mean? What does that mean? He denies it as a human being.
What it means is this, that if you bring him out from that state, then he begins to function as a human being. His sense of comfort where he is beyond functionality. And this functionality, in a sense, takes him away from his real sense of comfort. It can be behelem, and it is behelem in terms of being identifiable. But in terms of being there, it cannot be behelem. It cannot not be.
Didn't follow this. You're saying the functionality schleps him out of this false comfort that he has, or is it the true comfort?
Okay. I should have known better, I guess. Here's the thing. This is the false comfort, but it's also a true comfort. What does that mean? We've said many times a principle that a human being is an atzmi. What does an atzmi mean? An atzmi means not that he is lacking nothing. He cannot be lacking anything. If he senses that he has everything, he is not in his true comfort. Because then it means that he can be lacking, but he is not lacking. He's filling that which can be lacking. That's not his true comfort.
Yaakov says yesh kol.
Right. This is different between yesh kol and yesh rov. Yesh rov means I have a whole bunch. Everything that I need is, it's fulfilled because I have it.
Oh.
Yesh kol is something higher than having to filling it in. Yesh kol means I cannot be lacking. because I'm not dependent on my own ability, my own position. I have a reality. Beis should call me. I have the source of everything. And this is a different kind of, so the true human comfort, as we said many times, the human being is comfortable in the world because he belongs here, because the world belongs to him. So that when you take him away from that state, you were saying, you'll be comfortable if you do such and such. That's not me. My comfort is not dependent on what I do. So now, seriously, like I said, you have to take it a step further. Yes, a human being is an atzmi, and my comfort is not dependent on what I do. But this is mitzad the tohu element, mitzad the tikkun element. The human being is his atzmius in the world is milus horis v'chivshua, to have an effect. This is where he gets his total comfort, because he's got this total mission. So on the contrary, in the real essence, where does his comfort come from? From fulfilling his mission. That is where the error is. In tohu, you're just there. You don't have to fulfill any missions. And you feel comfortable and you don't want to get out of that. And that is where tikkun, even though tikkun is gilui, and it requires that you do things, and there's a sense of you may be lacking, but this is where the real compliment is.
This is the kavanas ha'etzem.
Excuse me?
The kavanas ha'etzem rather
Kavanas
than the
ha'etzem,
metzias.
that's right. This is that l'mayla mihala v'gili.
Well, what element here was l'mayla mi tohu v'tikkun? Seemed like first we described tohu and then said tikkun is actually where it's at. But to resolve the two, it seemed we needed to bring l'mayla mi tohu
Right,
v'tikkun.
right. So, to get a little bit of an inkling what we mean by that is, as we mentioned many times, the saying of the Baal Shem Tov, Mokum sheretzoyne shalodam shomhu. And he is there where he wants to be, automatically, because he's everywhere. But then, in the world as he is, his rotzen leads him to go there. And go there in a gradual manner, in a very contained and disciplined manner, step by step. What enables him to make these steps? What enables him to make his steps, to get there? He's not interested in getting there, he's interested to be there. And to be there, there is that element which is higher than being there and not being there, than tohu v'tikkun. Getting there is the true meaning, because this is where he's fulfilling his ultimate mission. like we said many times, that even in the Gashmis, having wealth does not compare to the satisfaction of working and obtaining it. This is where he really understands and appreciates what wealth is, the Gashmis. Which means he draws it not from a place of presence, but from a place of non-presence. And he creates it, so to speak. Which is alluding to an essential in
What we were saying.
still not. Go ahead. What?
Yeah, this Shamhu. So now he's making progress towards there, but on the tohu side, he's like, I'm there. Then is it? How is it resolved that he has a conflict between getting there and going there and taking steps versus here I am? And then he kind of just
He
said,
realizes that taking the steps and being there by getting there, not by willing it, but by getting there is superior to willing it.
and that realization is coming from a level beyond the two of them,
That's right.
which in a way is choosing going there, or is choosing tikkun over the other option. It's resolving the two to.
Well, we're not going to finish.
It's fine. It just clarifies the matter.
Yeah. He recognizes, not he recognizes, there is something higher than the whole question of choice that leads him, that enables him to go there.
I thought that the will, or the helm that's Lamaila, the helm atzmi, I thought that's what that's the root. That's the root of the conflict. That the etzim is there, so you could have a tohu and you can have a tikkun, and then like Yehuda said, you have something higher than helm atzmi. You have the kavanah, and that's what makes the choice of tikkun over tohu.
The process of birur hatohu by the koiches of tikkun is not a choice. It's not the result of a choice. When you say that you have l'mayla mehel tikkun means there is no dichotomy at all. You're talking about a reality that cannot fall out.
Right, but in this helm atzmi is no less present in Helen than it is in Gilui.
In what?
In Gilui. It's no. I thought that we have to come onto something higher than this Helma Atzmi. That is the Bechira in as Yaakov Ahavti. I thought that's what I understood from what he said. I mean, that's, not a dichotomy. It's in other words, while he's in the Goder.
So there is no dichotomy. So
right. There's no dichotomy.
It's not a choice. There's no dichotomy. There's a choice.
But the bechira in when he's in a state of tohu, why does he take the steps towards tikkun? Because he realizes something. He realizes something higher than the helamatz. There's a kavana.
This realization, this is the only way we can phrase it, but that's it's not his realization. There's a realization that he is able to pull himself out. This inyan that brings him to Madrege higher than Tehutika, higher Helmegilun, is not of his doing. He reaches a point where he is being raised. This is not something that he is getting to. So that is not a question of what he realizes, and he's being raised to something. All right, give us a chance. Have a great day.
You too.